Hi everyone, my name's Jason. I'm here today to show you how to make a pizza. Why am I doing that? Well, A, I'm not a very good cook, and B, I'm in Slimming World. I've tried many diets before and none of them have worked. But I want rid of this belly, and in order to do that, I have to change the way I eat. I'm not stopping all the bad things I eat, I just need to find a way that works for me where I can include things like chocolate bars or a packet of crisps, a can of full sugar Coke, or even the little luxuries in life like pizzas. I've joined Slimming World because it's trying to show me a different way of eating rather than a diet. What I'm trying to do is teach myself to eat differently, and that includes cooking. So I have to teach myself to cook. And I think there's a lot of people out there like me who don't do a lot of cooking that might want to learn and don't know where to start. Well, that's why I'm here. That's where I'm starting from. I'm here to do menus and show you things that I'm cooking and I'm learning about. Today I'm going to show you how to make a sin-free pizza. Now, for everyone at Slimming World, we all know what that means, but people that aren't at Slimming World who just want to eat healthy, trust me, this is a lot healthier than going down to Domino's and eating one of their pizzas. For those at Slimming World, the way we do this is the cheese and the wholemeal bread that we're going to use will be included in your healthy extras. In healthy extra A, you would stick in your mozzarella cheese, and in B, you would stick in your bread. Wholemeal bread, yum yum. Okay, yeah, I know it doesn't sound so yummy, but trust me, when done right, this can be very delicious. Stage one, collect the ingredients. Well, for this particular pizza, we need grated mozzarella. Now, make sure this cheese is on your sin-free list, guys and girls. Make sure it's on your healthy extras as well. Double check in your app, you know you've got it. I'm not sure if this one's actually on the app, so I may have messed up already, but you know what? I ain't throwing it away, and if it's going to be 5 or 6, 7 sins, I'll get away with it for this. But let's pretend that's sin-free. Second of all, I'm going to take 2 tomatoes. This isn't for the sauce. For the sauce, I'm going to use tomato puree. By the way, I'm doing a Hawaiian pizza, so what do we have in a Hawaiian pizza? We have pineapple. I'm going to stick that on top of the base when it's finished. So we've got pineapple, tomatoes, tomato puree. We've got ham, because you've got to have ham on a Hawaiian pizza. Again, with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in strips of 2 and 3 and cut it into squares. I'm going to show you how to do that, even though you should be able to do that by yourself because it's kind of self-explanatory. Well, I can do it. I didn't need to learn how to cut ham. So, lastly, we've got the most important ingredient for the base. We've got wholemeal bread mix. Don't do what I did, which was get a completely different one from a completely different place that wasn't in the actual app. I've actually thrown that away now and bought this one, so it's a learning curve for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you it's been a learning curve as well, but I'm hoping to help you do that. So let's go over the ingredients one more time. Grated mozzarella cheese, yummy. Tomato puree, tomatoes, pineapple, wholemeal bread, ham. All those ingredients are supposed to be sin-free except for the cheese and obviously the wholemeal bread mix, because that's going to go into healthy extras A and B. Cheese in A, bread in B. See, I'm learning. Right, I've already washed these tomatoes, so they're prepared. Now I'm going to cut them into slices. So I'm going to get one now. This is the way I do it because I don't have the proper tools and my knives aren't really that sharp. So I just cut into the tomatoes. I'm just creating a few slices. That's all I'm doing. So I'm just preparing the tomatoes like this. Once I've done that, so they're both tomatoes, I can put them inside the do that. I'm doing 2 because 2's enough for the size pizza I'm going to do. I'm not doing a big pizza. It's just for 2 of us, this pizza. The first time I did this, I went overboard and made enough for 6 people. So now I've done that, I'm going to put these in a container. I've got one here that I've prepared earlier. I'll just put the tomatoes in here for later. That's it. And don't forget, between every ingredient, just be extra safe and wash your hands. That's what I'm going to do now, even though you won't see it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pineapples and cut them in pieces and put them back in here. So I've only picked 2 pineapples here. I've got pineapple juice, so if you buy pineapples with pineapple juice, it's actually free in sins. If you buy it with syrup, it's actually not free in sins. Basically, for all those non-Slimming World people, don't buy it in syrup because it's pretty unhealthy. So I'm chopping them all into bits because, as we all know, in our pizzas we like our ham and our pineapple in little bits, all floating on top of that lovely gorgeous bread. Nice tiny bits. Now I've cut this into pieces, I'm going to get the same container I had earlier and I'm going to put some of these pieces back in. I'm going to do ham next, so I'm using a glass chopping board for that, just because I want to. This is the ham I'm using. It's sin free, or for all those people who aren't on Slimming World, it's absolutely fine. Eat as much of this ham as you like. Well, don't eat a ton of it. You'll probably get quite big if you eat a ton of it. Right, be generous with the ham. I'm just going to do it all in one go. There we go. More than enough ham. There we go. Got 6 sheets there. Right. What I do, just because I like it nice and thick, I try and keep them together. It doesn't always work that way. I put it like this and I'll start cutting. If you notice, I'm holding a thumb down on the end of the ham just to hold it while I'm cutting through. Again, if you've got a really sharp knife, you're probably not going to have to worry about that. Now, once I've cut it into strips, what I personally like to do, I just come around this way, do the same again. So I'm doing it in these little squares. I'm only doing it so it's actually a lot easier to spread. I can just sprinkle it on top of the base when I've put the sauce on, so it just makes life a lot easier. And that's my lovely ham. For this, I'm doing 2 pieces. I'm going to weigh out 80 grams. So 80 grams, but if you're doing 1 pizza, 40 grams. I'm just being really lazy, guys and girls. Right, let's get the weights. Put the weights over here. Got to measure out 40 grams. So it's not the most accurate scale. So really careful because I want to get every bit of cheese I can get on. Every little bit. Oh, look at that lovely cheese. I'm going to put this into a little bowl. Right, that's done. Again, this is Bell Bake Rustic Wholemeal Bread Mix. Feel free, go to Aldi's and buy yourself some. It's really good stuff. It's about... There we go. Yep, that's 120 grams. Now it's time for the base. I'm going to get this plastic tub, which is what I'm going to mix the bread mix in. I've got the wholemeal bread mix. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to take a couple of spoonfuls and put it to one side. I'm going to use this for dusting on the surface to make it. I'm just going to put it on this tray here, just 2 big heap spoons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about a bit of it in, about half of this in to start with. Just to be careful, and instead of giving you a measurement of water, I would suggest that if you're experienced, you know how to mix this together and make a consistent dough. You get it. I understand that. If you don't, there'll be a measurement at the back. I say this because I'm no expert, guys and girls, and when I did this, I put way too much water in the first time because I had no clue. Instead of going with my instincts and just mixing it until it felt right. So this time round, this is a first for me. I'm mixing it till it feels right. So, wish me luck. So I'm just going to use my fingers to start with here, just to get a bit of consistency. Oh, it's already I feel like I've done a bit too much water in there. So it feels just a bit too much. So yeah, that's not good. Here we go. I'm doing it. Get the rest of that in there. Just pour it in. Gets a bit messy, this. So let's just speed the camera up a little bit, eh? So basically, if you got that, it's flatten it out a little bit with your hands. Just use your knuckles like I do there. Press into it. Turn it around. Do it again. Fold it over. Press it back in. Just keep doing this till it feels really consistent. And this process is known as kneading. I think that's nearly enough. We're nearly there. It feels really good. Now I'm just going to flatten it. So I'll put there, there and there. Yeah. But again, you have to roll this out really, really thin. Oh. Don't worry about, oh, don't worry about the shape too much, just make sure it doesn't stick to the table. I've already done it a couple of risky moments for me, but well, I like to put it on there. That's it, get a good old shake. That's it. Ladies, stop thinking that way. And we just roll it out. What I've got to do is I've got to put it in this tray, and then I've got to leave it, usually somewhere warm. It's quite warm in here, so I'm going to leave it for about an hour. Now that the hour's passed, I've come back and had a look at my pizza base, and in areas I can feel that it's risen. It hasn't quite risen all over, but I definitely feel little pockets of risenness there. So, oh, this side's risen quite a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the topping on now, and by the time it goes in the oven it should have risen a bit more. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the tomato puree. I'm going to put that on, that's the main base of the pizza. I'm going to use a knife to spread it. Probably have been better off with a spoon. See if this spreads better using a spoon. Yeah, oh, that's so much better, isn't it? Just use the back of a spoon. That's it. Look at all that tomato sauce. Ooh, well, puree. Just finishing off this sauce. It looks really yummy. I can't wait to see how this turns out with all the toppings on. Get your oven ready when you're at this stage is probably the best timing. Only takes about 5 or 10 minutes for my oven to get hot. So first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of cheese. I'm not going to put it all on. I'm just going to put a little bit. So take one sprinkle. Put a little bit on. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, there's actually an extra 30 grams in there. I've done that because I've got a bigger base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to personally cut it up and make it into smaller chunks for myself over the next 3 days. I'm going to start with the ham. I'm going to take the ham. I'm going to start sprinkling a few pieces of this just around the pizza. Just random, whatever you want, doesn't really matter. Just loosen it up a bit more, I think, because coldness is keeping it all in there. Got the pineapple. There we go. There's not many pineapple, but I'm personally not a huge fan of pineapple. I like it, I just don't like it being overwhelmed. So if you like pineapple, put as much as you like in. It's free, particularly if you get it with pineapple juice in the tins. Now I'm going to put a couple of pieces of tomato on it, just a couple. 1, 2. I kind of spread it out because I know that there's going to be like 6 pieces here, so some spare for friends. Though they might not be friends for a long while after they try my pizza. They might think I'm trying to poison them. Let's hope that's not true, eh? Okay, I missed some corners out. I need to spread it out a little bit. Certainly haven't behaved. Alright. That's what it looks like now. With all the toppings on, the bread base underneath. It's now ready to go into the cooker. The cooker's been on about 10 minutes. It's been on Mark 4 or 180 degrees Celsius. I'm now going to stick it in for 10 minutes. Ooh. I'm going. That tastes great. You've got to do it, guys and girls. You've got to make your own pizza. It's not perfect. The bread hasn't gone up in every area, but it tastes fantastic and it's free. Ah, 2 pieces of this is free. I just love these pizzas that we can cook. I hope this helps you into making your own pizza, and I hope you love your pizza too, like I love my pizza. I really enjoyed making this video for you guys and girls out there, and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did enjoy it, press like. But more importantly, get out there and make those pizzas. Let me know what you think to your own pizzas. And, you know, get cooking.